Well, good morning to you, good morning. Thursday, I think it is the 7th, definitely the 7th of January 2021. Still got the decorations on the tree. They come down on Sunday. That's the sort of tradition here. But not today, not today. Already been fairly active this morning. I've done lots of things that really don't deserve a video. I've done a wash load. You know, I wanted a clean sock for tomorrow, so I thought I ought to do that. I fed the cats. Now they're looking for something else to eat, I suspect. They're ever so brave. If I'm out here, they're out here. If I go the other way, they like to feel that I'm close enough. If they get themselves in trouble, they can come and run to me. I've been to the déchetterie. I've dumped a whole car full of old roof tiles. Still got several car loads to go, but you know that was a good result. And I've drunk tea, of course, and I'm carrying on with this cupboard door. Now, here's a warning for all of you who ever do anything. You do various little jobs and you do them to a standard and you try to get them right, and things don't always go right. So you sort of paint it and hope that no one ever notices. And then 100 years later, some chap comes along and strips the paint and the muck off of your cupboard door that you made around about 1926 and discovers that you banged a nail through it and you missed. Yeah, I'm going to try and correct that before I get too much older. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. I might just grind it off flush, because of course it still has a job to do. But, you know, things are happening. Things are happening. Well, that's better, isn't it? Much better. Still fiddly sort of finishing off to do before I get varnish on this. What I have been doing is I've been preparing a space where I can varnish it without getting airborne dust all over it. One of the curses of varnish is if you do it in a room that you're going to carry on doing some work, you end up with dust settling in the varnish, which is never good. Yeah. Well, I should have videoed that just to prove I'd done it. I've just put the first coat of varnish on one side of the door that I was working on. So that's that. Now, I have a neighbour. Actually, I've got several. And last summer, one of them was asked by another neighbour to cut some trees back. And, well, one thing and another, these trees haven't been properly disposed of. No one's fault, it's just the way things are with the confinement and COVID and all that sort of thing. And I said, would you like me to get rid of some of them? And as tonight we're going down to sort of -3-ish, I thought it might be a good idea to turn some of this into usable firewood. Well, of course, the thing about a pair of cupboard doors is there are two of them. Yeah, I'm pretty well through with this one. It won't take too much longer to get that duffed over. The first one has got one side, it's indoors in the warm, varnished, first coat. jobs like this, it's going to want 2 coats of varnish on, obviously on each side. So, it's not going to be done overnight. You need to leave the varnish time to dry and things like that. While that's drying, we can get on with the next bit. Well, what do you do after you've had your dinner and it's below freezing outside and it's nice and warm inside because you've been cutting firewood all day and the fire is burning brightly? I thought I would start dealing with some of these pieces of track. As you can see, this is Hornby Dublo, made in England by Meccano Limited, long time ago, and it's sort of suffered, some of it has suffered with just simple age. So we're pulling fish plates off. Where are we? There we are. We're pulling fish plates off, straightening those that can be straightened. These sort of suffer, where little boys and grown men and mums have taken these bits and pieces apart and put them together and taken them apart again. They get bent and they get loose and they need adjusting. And some of them are, well, I don't think I'll be able to straighten that. I might be able to, but they get bent and damaged. And some of the pieces we find other little problems with. On 3-rail, I think it's the same with all 3-rail systems. Well, someone's going to remind me about Trick's twin, but on 3-rail systems, the 2 outside rails are common. They're not insulated from the steel track bed, but the centre rail is, the noise in the background, cats, litter trays. They wait all day. They wait until I change the litter and then they dig it and spread it all over the floor and do the things they have to do in litter trays, which I'm not going to film. It isn't a pretty sight. Yes, the middle rail is insulated from the track bed. And this particular piece, it's actually broken. How did that happen? Who knows? Someone at some time in the life of this track did something with it and it broke. I've got quite a few pieces of this, so this will just get chucked to one side against the day that I'm desperate for a piece. Yes, I can probably take that centre rail out and solder it and things like that, or replace it or whatever. But I think the sensible thing for now is just to chuck that into the box against the day that I want to do something different. But I'm going to spend the rest of the time before bed playing with these bits and pieces. We're cleaning pieces, I'm actually using white spirit. I haven't got any lighter fluid, and we'll make them pretty ready for laying.